break and just bring as we proceed. So last week we wrapped up by understanding the fact that if you are going to create wealth, you have an option. You can do it kingdom way, or you can do it Babylon's way. You can do it the way of the world, or you can do it in the way of the kingdom. You can't be a part of the kingdom and then be arguing about kingdom principles or covenant practices. It's like somebody traveling out of Nigeria into the UK, and then you get there, you say, I don't agree with driving on the other side of the road. You are driving on the wrong side of the road. To you is the wrong side, to them is the right side. So when you get there, you have to do what? Align. You can't get into the UK and say, no, I don't do pounds, I do naira. I don't do pounds, I do naira. No, you will do pounds. Because you have moved into a new territory. You can't go into a school that have existed for 84 years before your father was born. And then you go to the school. You saw the school. You know that the uniform is white. Oh. You went there. You applied. You sat for their entry exam. When you now resume, you say, why are we wearing white? Why must we wear white? Don't they know white? We get dirty easily. I don't do white. You saw the school. They didn't force you. So the Bible says we have been translated from the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of his dear son. So when you come into the kingdom, it's not your opinion anymore. It's God's agenda. It's not about what you feel. It's not about what is convenient. It's not about what is comfortable. It's about what is commanded. And that's why many of us are still where we are, because we are not getting it. We just come to church religious, Pentecostal orthodoxy. Just go to church. Sunday, we go to church. You are going to church, but you are not going to God. So you know church, you know pastors, but you don't know God. If you know God, there are many things that nobody will need to convince you about. So those are two options that we need to understand. So you have to make up your mind. Do I want to do it God's way, covenant way, kingdom way, or do I want to do it Babylon's way? But when you do it God's way, the blessings of the Lord makes rich, and he has no sorrow with it. So today we move to the 8 steps to wealth creation. The 8 steps to wealth creation. And this module is born out of 2 Kings chapter 4, which is a very, very popular story. I've shared from that over the years. And it's the story of the prophet who was married. And they had 2 sons. And then the prophet went to borrow money, and he could not pay. Then he died. And when he died, the creditor now came to collect. And when they came to collect, the widow, realizing now that widowhood is not a license for debt, and the fact that your husband died does not mean your debts will die, suddenly realized that she had to pay. And then she cried out to the prophet of God by the name of Elisha. When she cried out to Elisha, she said, my husband is dead, the creditor has come, please come and help me. They had a relationship with Elisha, but they did not explore that relationship, because as far as they were concerned, Elisha was not probably as spiritual as they expect a man of God to be. So they only connected to the prophetic aspect of the life of Elisha. They did not connect to the entrepreneurial aspect of Elisha, because as far as they are concerned, the man of God faced ministry. But when they were in trouble, because you already know, look, think very well. Please, when you read Bible, think analytically. If you had access to Elisha, why didn't you go to him before you borrow money? Hello? Why did you make major decisions without contacting your prophet? But when there is trouble, you are now coming to the pastor. Fire brigade method. And it's everywhere. Sometimes people make decisions because it's like if they want to shock you. Then life shocks them. They want to shock you. We just testify. We don't need to carry them along. And then life will shock them. Hello? Sometimes when I hear of what some of you go through and some of the decisions you have made, as your pastor, I feel dishonored. you understand? I'm like, this guy's all right. People are coming from all over the world to pay. And you have access and you are not using it. Are you guys all right? How can you want to travel? You don't even need to come to, you want to travel and you never went to anybody that has traveled before. To say, my brother, I know you have traveled. Oh, please, I'm planning to travel. So I want to apply. What are the advice that you have for me? It's just ordinary common sense. It's just ordinary common sense. Hello? We have a member of the church, a minister, that wanted to travel years ago, and he was working in a very global organization. He did not tell us he was planning to travel, neither did he tell them in his office. He waka past, go embassy. They refused him visa. He now cares, didn't you get letter from your office? I don't want to tell them. That's where you work. That's where your salary is coming from. Their letterheading alone will have opened the door. But you see, sometimes people just do some of this. You wonder. Hello? Years ago, when the pension, I'm saying this, I don't know why, but I'm just saying that. I think maybe God just wants to minister to somebody. Years ago, when the Pension Act was enacted, we have a pension plan in-house that was established 29 years ago when this just started. When you serve for 5 years, 10 years, so we have a pension plan in-house. So when the Obasanjo administration came up with the pension plan, we now started doing both. So I called the senior pastor, who was the resident pastor. I said, come, we are not oil company, we are not share. We are already doing government. We cannot be doing house pension and still doing, it's not going to work. We can't afford it. So let us pay off everybody. Whatever the church is owing them, let's pay all of them so that we know that church is free from that, paying anybody. Let's be doing their pension. At least if anywhere they go, they can continue their pension. It was not easy, but we had to raise the money, started saving money. So I called all of them. And I told them, I said, this is what we are doing. We are going to be paying you off. The money some of you will be collecting now, you have never seen that kind of money in your life. So this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I said, once we pay you, you know that finance is my area. Please don't go and invest anyhow. If you need my counsel, come and see me so that I can guide you. Not one came to see me. Not one of them came to see me. And 99% of them wasted the money. You can't see the trace of the money in their life, even till now. How do you think I will feel? One of them carried the money, borrowed somebody, then they said they are doing cocoa, went to do cocoa. Oh. I'm like, should no matter. So sometimes you may think that all these pastors, it is painful. If you are a father, you send your children to school, you raise them, you have trained them, you have invested your life, and they have an opportunity. Will you be happy to see them end up in poverty? So sometimes you say, but they are working with pastor. Why is their life like that? Their life is like that. I can't help them. I have helped them. You are not aware. You are not aware. One of them even came back to see me and said, pastor, I've collected it, but what I want to do, you need to help me. I still gave him 2.8 million personally to add to the money. Hello? Hello? One of them, the one that had the highest money, while I was giving him the money, I had already seen there was a 3-bedroom, an estate that was being built. And I had connection. And the money we are giving him, the difference between the money we are giving him and the bungalow is 6 million. So in my head, I've spoken to the person, guys, I'm a funny bedroom here, but I already planned that. He didn't come. He carried the money and went far away to go and lay foundation for the whole money finish on foundation. No, you can be laughing, but it's painful. So sometimes when you see me talk the way I talk, I have seen foolishness on the highest order, and I have been foolish too. So sometimes it's the pain of my foolishness. Now. And then the foolishness of God, when you want to say, you're not very shisheni. That's the pain of some of the. When you see me talking, there is a revelation behind the talking. Hello? You don't know that you don't know, you don't want to know. And you are adamant in your error. Hello? So they ran to Elisha. So you knew Elisha. And you didn't go to him saying, you know his father was a billionaire. You know he had entrepreneurial skill. You didn't go. So when she went to Elisha did not pray for her. You remember? No prayer, no fasting, no communion, no laying on of hands, no raising, no nothing. Because ignorance is not a demon. You can't cast it out. Some of the problems in the life of people is not a demonic problem. It's not a spiritual problem. It's just lack of wisdom. That is the problem. So Elisha sat her down and took her through what I call the school of money. And from that encounter, we have 8 steps that I want to now begin to share with you from today. The first thing Elisha said is, what do you have in the house? What do you have in the house? So the first step towards creation is you must discover what you have. Discover to recover. What do you have in the house? That is the discovery that many people have not been able to make. Hello? If you read my book, 50 Ministers' Mistakes and Ministry, in the first chapter of the book, I wrote on the secret of the journey, the things that I consider to be what has helped me on my journey. And one of the things you will see there is that I started early. Hello? Calvary will be 30 years in December. I'll be 55 in May. Do your calculation. Minus 30 from 55. So at the age of 24, I started this church. At 24, what have you started? Ministry, you can't start. Business, you can't start. But you know how to start a relationship. Are you a virgin? No, think of it. That's one of the greatest blessings of my life. I started early. As a teenager, I already knew where I was going to. My parents are here. As a teenager, I already knew where I was going to. I started ministry as a teenager. By the age of 21, I was already ordained a pastor in a 700-member church. I was the assistant pastor in 1992-93. So when I see young people, you're on social media, instead of facing your book, you're on Facebook, you are watching other people succeed. You are the one that knows who did BB hell. You are the one that knows who breaks somebody's heart. You are not serious with your life. Nobody grows young. Or come and wake up with 30. You just wake up one day, you are 40. And then be deceived and say, hey, I don't look my age. I'm 50, but looking 30. Just they play. What do you have in the house? The woman said, the handmaid had not anything in the house, save a pot of oil. When you don't know what you have, it will not work for you. It will be there, but it won't work for you. Your handmaid had not anything in the house. If you don't know what you have, but others know what you have, they will use and abuse you. Your handmaid had not anything in the house, save a pot of oil. She didn't see the pot of oil as anything important. If you despise what you have, you can't benefit from it. If you look down on what you have, it cannot help you. Yeah, save a pot of oil. Little is much when God is involved. A little pot of oil, a little rod, a little stone. Is it not small stone that killed Goliath? Is it not one rod that parted the Red Sea? Is it not 5 loaves and 2 fishes that fed thousands of people? Little is much when God is involved. The problem is that little you have, you are not ready to get God involved. You want to carry your little by yourself. Are you ready? Can I go deeper? Now listen. That pot of oil was there before they went into debt. There is a miracle in your house. The pot of oil was there before they went into debt. But because they did not connect and honor the man that God has put in their life to help them, they were in bondage. They went to borrow when they didn't need to borrow. They did not need to borrow. One of the members of the Billionaires Conclave is a lecturer in the university. Billionaire now. He just joined us 3 years ago. This thing is not a mystery. If it's not working for you, I have come to a level in my life where after 36 years in this job, you can't convince me that I am not called. You can't convince me that I'm not of God. If it's not working for you, it's your problem. It doesn't move me. because I have enough testimony on a global scale. I was privileged on the 18th of December to go and dedicate almost, the guy has like 18 or 20 something hostels now. We dedicated maybe like 10 or more in one day. Hello? But early last year, he called me. Sir, I'm thinking this thing, I want to do this. I want to borrow money. I said, don't borrow. He said, where are you rushing to? I said, on this journey of wealth, you have to be careful of greed and covetousness. 3 years ago, see what God has done. And bust up now. Don't be in a hurry. You still have a long time ahead of you. You are not poor, you are okay. So what is going to go and borrow and compound? You're like, no, grow organically. I said, then do this, do this, do this, do that. By the time we're dedicating it in December, I said, so how far did you know? I said, me borrow, but she's so young. Take up, pray for me. Bye. She said, listen, I'm your pastor, but sometimes I wonder. I'm like, is it not the same me? How come this thing is not working Calvary? It's part of God. I go around, some people, the kind of testimony they give, even me, they shock me. As if I could just have like 5 of these people in Calvary. Hello? Yesterday night, 2 of them say, 5 million. 5 million, 2 people, just bless you, sir. After they paid for an event, this is too much. I will show you railboat list. You won't see that kind, even in railboats. Hello? The pot of oil was always there. They still went into debt. They still went into what? Into debt. So let's go deeper into understanding. You see, what do you have in the house? The word house has different connotation in scripture. The Bible says in a great house. So the house can be the kingdom of God. The household of faith. The house can be a local church. The house of Stephanos. The house can be a place of abode. You are the temple of the Holy Ghost. If your high be single, the house can be you. So when he says, what do you have in the house? Look at it in different dimensions. In your ministry, in your organization, what are the assets that you have that you need to train? Because Abraham trained 318 in his house. So you need to look for his house. You don't need to necessarily go out and bring new people every time. There are people in house that can be trained and elevated to that position. Hello? I was talking to someone. Our administrator left last year, Pastor Azan, for Greener Pastures, doing an amazing work, amazing couple. And Pastor Favor is there now. And one of our members that is in Canada came to Nigeria. I was not around when he came. And then we're talking. And then he said this. Listen, he said this. He said, Pastor, I came. Only Pastor Azan's law. Pastor Favor, the one money. No. The Calvary is strong gone. I said, trainings and system. Because if vacuum come, everything can fit in me. But you can see, pay then for a bigger church or ministry to come to a demo and carry our person. That means you have raised somebody that somebody higher can look for. And then even inside, we don't need to struggle. Somebody else just take the line. So I said, no. I said, good news. Hello? Transition. So what do you have in the house? What are the talents? Many of you are looking for a great staff outside. The staff you have, if you can just equip them, send them to Open University, just give them training, empower them, be patient with them to grow. Greatness can come out of them. We all made mistakes before we got an handle of it. There is no way a child will eat pap or moi without it smelling their hand. So people will make mistakes. That's why we are bringing young people to the pulpit. For the past 12 years, every Sunday, you see young people below the age of 20, below the age of 30, so that you can know that you don't have to be old to be in ministry. And are you ready? Let me inform you in advance. Secret. Once Calvary crosses 30, we're entering another decade. Hello? It's a decade of transition and expansion. So if you cannot submit to a small boy or a small girl, start looking for another church. Hello? Because we're going to begin to empower the next generation. All of us, we're going to become fathers and mothers, counseling and guiding and opening the next direction. This church is young people we're going to bring up. So if you are not ready, you are too proud and arrogant to submit to a woman or submit to somebody younger than you, carry your pride and your arrogance and just go to a church where Daddy Gio is the pastor and go and submit to grandfather in the Lord. Because we are doing transition and expansion. What do you have in the house? Even in your own biological house, husband, wife. Why are you insecure about your wife's progress? Why are you threatened about your wife's empowerment? Hello? Even your children, you want to block their destiny. Are you all right? Hello? They let now come to you. What do you have in the house? There is nobody on earth that was born without a gift or a talent. There is no giftless, talentless, and potentialless individual on earth. Everyone came loaded. Say, I was born loaded. So what do you have in the house? What's your gift? What's your talent? What's your potential? The pot of oil is there. Your gold is tied to your gift. Your treasure is tied to your talent. Your profit is tied to your potential. What do actors and actresses sell? Their gift. Footballers, musicians, comedians, broadcasters. What are they selling? It's their gift. They discovered the gift. They developed it and they are deploying it and money is flowing. So what do you have in the house? You are singing in the bathroom. All you need to do is carry the singing from bathroom to the studio and money will flow. Hello? What is your gift? What is your gift? What do you have in the house? Do you know why that guy buried his talents? He despised what he had. But he was looking at, sit down one, they give him 2 talents. Sit down one, they give him 5 talents. He was busy comparing himself with other people that the one they gave him, he buried it. And that's what's happening to many of us. That which God gave you is unique to you. You want Nikon is unique to you. That is what sets you apart from other people. You are okay until you start comparing yourself with other people. But if you can carry that gift, discover it, develop it, hone it, and begin to deploy it, you will see that every gift has a customer. They will start coming. So number 1 is what? What do you have in the house? What do you have in the house? So if you have not yet discovered your gift or discovered yourself, take time to do that. Take time to do that. It's one of the greatest joy of my life that God had mercy on me. And as a teenager, I knew exactly what I was going to. My parents are here. I told them, I have a call of God upon my life. My destiny is ministry. So there's no point going to do this, do that, this is what I'm going to face. And guess what? In those days, not nowadays, in those days when parents will say, you must be a doctor, you must be a lawyer. To ban into fashion here. Àdúrà náà la máa fi ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́. Do you know what it means to release your child as a teenager? To say he's doing ministry, he's not going to school. To say he's starting a church at 24. Do you know what it means? But my parents released me. They say, we owe you prayer. Whatever we do, we may not have money, but at least I'll gbàdúrà fún ẹ. And they join, and they have been members for 29 years. From day one, they are members. This church started in my father's sitting room. I didn't even have a house. So then we started in a compound before we came to 54 Ikotun Road. But your child said, I want to do coding. You say, what is coding? What is coding? Coded l'enwe, coded l'enwe. Doctor nie, lawyer nie. Your daughter can say, I want to do graphic. Graph. Ma graph ojú ẹ pẹ̀lú ìgbà tí ma fi graph ojú ẹ. Lawyer nie. Because many of you want to fulfill your failure through your children. The thing that you could not achieve, you want to achieve it through them and block their destiny. Mama lawyer, mama doctor. You want to say, no, my daughter is a graduate. How much does that bring into your account? Listen to me, many of those things that were important in your generation is useless in this generation. Hello? So, you know the houses now. So what do you have in the house? So discover what you have. And that's the first step. Next week, Sunday, I'll continue. God bless you.